Hey gang, Scott here. In this video, some light compositing work, a little blending with layers to craft a more perfect landscape. And this happens, right, when we're out shooting in the landscape, and as much as we want to capture everything in a single frame, well, sometimes nature just doesn't give us everything in that one exact photo. But if you've committed to a composition, capture a few frames, and then you can cherry pick the best pieces of each one. So what we're going to cover in this video is I'm going to show you a handful of Seascape photos that why I'm choosing these to put together. And then I'm going to bring these over into Photoshop to do the layering there. You've got layering in other software, ON1 Photo RAW, Luminar, Capture One, whatever you're using there. This technique's going to work the same way. It's very light work when it comes to the masking and compositing with layers. So let's start with the image selection and move on from there. So I'm here in Lightroom. I have these three photos on the screen. These are the three that I'm going to put together, and let's look at each one large here. And you'll notice right here after the image file name, you'll see some kind of my nomenclature here. I've got base and a couple of other things. The way that I like to approach image selection for compositing is I want to find the image that has most of what I want. And this image is the one that fit the bill for it. That's why I called it base here. And the reason this is my base image is most of the water is the way that I want it to be flowing. These mid-ground rocks, I wanted some coverage, but not total coverage, so that they are, peaking above the surface of the ocean. And the same thing with these foreground rocks, the platform that I was standing on, wanted separation as the waves came in between it and the next rock in front. But the left side of the photo, it has a little less character. And so if I show you the next image here, it's like this little bit here in the sandbar area. So you notice I have this called sandbar upper left. That's what I want out of this particular photo. Nothing else. I want to take all of this stuff here, but just kind of replace this segment that's in between these secondary rocks, just because the way that the water receded here and showed a little more, less waterlogged sand, more waterlogged sand. There's just a little more play of light and shadow. And then the third image, you'll see I have that called foreground rock water. I got one wave crash that came over the platform that I'm standing on, and some nice extra little wisps and streaks of ocean coming across that. The rest of the photo, a little too busy. Some of the action here in between the foreground rock and the midground, or the first midground rock, not too bad, but to me it was like a little bit too busy in the midground here. And so I like this blend. I want that sandbar, and I want this little extra wisps of water. So with those three photos in mind, I'll go back to the grid view. I'm going to take all three of them, right click, edit, and open them as layers. As a matter of fact, I'll do these as smart objects in layers and in Photoshop. The smart object isn't really necessary, but I always tend to send things over to Photoshop as smart objects on the off chance that I want to go adjust something in Camera Raw. If I notice something when I get into Photoshop, I can tweak it before I go do the compositing work. Let's get these into Photoshop, and then we'll do a little layer arrangement and do some light masking to make everything come together in one nice frame. We're in Photoshop. We see we have our three layers here. They're all turned on. And right now what's on the top, it looks like it's the base photo that came in. Here's the sandbar one, the second one. And then here's the third one, which has the foreground water. So let's name these so that we don't lose track. That's the foreground water. That one is our sandbar. And then this top one is the base. Now, the way that I like to approach the masking, I like to put the base on the bottom, and then all the upper layers, I invert the mask, hide everything, and then slowly reveal pieces. You can work in the opposite direction if you prefer, have the base on top and then punch holes down to see what's beneath. That's really just personal taste, but for this video, I'm going to go with the way that I like to do things. Is I'm going to take base, drag it down to the bottom, and we'll do them in the order that I had them before in Lightroom. And then I'll turn off the top layers. So base is our fundamental, bottom of the bottom of the ocean, bottom of the layer stack. And for the sandbar, let's first add a mask to it. I'll just hit that little mask button and then Command or Control I to invert it. Now when I turn it on, nothing's changed because effectively this entire sandbar layer is hidden. Let's zoom in over here because this is the area of work we're going to work on our sandbar. I still have the mask selected over on the right-hand side, and I'll hit the B key for the brush. And looking at everything here, smoothing, feather's pretty good. Let's just start painting in kind of around where this sandbar was, right? So it was kind of over in here, and we're starting to reveal that sandbar. It was like that. And then it was this upper part here where there was a nice sweep that came out to the ocean. Make sure I connect that all the way, that wave crest all the way to the rock. And then this part I just kind of have to wiggle around some and smooth it out until the blend looks reasonable. And that looks pretty good. So before and then after, we can see how that's come in some. And if I don't like, Shift X to switch things out, and we can take away some of that sandbar from the top and then keep a little bit of those accents there. And this is kind of where the finesse comes in. You can fiddle with this part of it as much as you like. If you need to start reducing the flow to kind of blend things out, let me do a Shift X again and kind of bring some of that back in, just to start to smooth things together. I'm being a little sloppy right now because at this point it's more about, just getting that brush work ever so the way you want it versus the technique. I'll stop there so we can move on to bringing in the third image, the foreground water. So let's move our focus down here. Let me zoom back out a little bit because we're going to need a little more real estate for that foreground water. And so here's our foreground water layer. Let me turn it on and off quickly so you remember what was there, right? We have kind of water through this channel here and some in the foreground. So same thing, we'll pop a mask on there, Command or Control I to invert it. I'll enable the mask, and then my brush is set to paint in, white mask there, and then we just kind of brush it right through. And this one's pretty easy. We can be really like, pretty much sloppy with the brushing work because this rock on the bottom did not move, right? This is a very fixed element in the scene. I think there was a little bit over here too. Yep, there we go. Get all that kind of stuff. And then if we zoom back out, we have, our full composite. And I guess for completeness, the last thing to do is put these all together on a stamped layer, or you can merge the visible layers, depends on how you like to work. I tend to be as non-destructive as I can so that if I realize something's a little bit wrong, I have the latitude to go back and fix it without having to go back really far in time. So the ever so convenient Command Shift Option E keystroke, and I'm being incredibly sarcastic when I say the ever so easy, that creates a new layer that combines everything that we had on the screen, all the visible pixels. So now if I want to do any further adjustment work, I'm going to work on that composite layer. But that's the recap. That's when I'm thinking about this when I'm photographing landscapes and there are moving elements in various parts of the frame. This is a technique that you can use where if that motion in the right side of the frame is on a different time scale, it's a beat to a different drummer on that side versus say the left side, you have these options in post where capture a lot of assets when you're in the field and you can blend them together when you're back at your desk. Any layering package, you can do this. Real simple, real straightforward blending. Commit to that composition, grab a few frames. Hope you found the video useful. Got questions? Drop them below. And until next time, my name is Scott Davenport. Have fun.